Welcome back, legends. I hope you're all fantastic. Today we're taking a look at this mighty little brute, the Diezel Herbert module from Synergy. People have been asking for this one for a long time, and there's already a Diezel VH4 module in the Synergy ecosystem, and I think for a lot of people, the VH4 is the Diezel, but for me, the Diezel is the Herbert, and I've wanted a Herbert for a long time. So we're gonna fire this one up. I'm gonna chuck it in my Syn 2 along with my Synergy 5050 power amp, and we'll do the thing. We'll just pull some tones with this. I will fire up my rack effects towards the end of the video as well and just get some absolute grease happening. So let's do it. I'm gonna get started with my kind of YJM strat. It's a YJM neck and scratch plate on a Warmoth Mary Kay White body in Swamp Ash. We have got the blue channel of the Herbert module fired up at the moment. You can see I've got the gain quite low. The mid-cut switches are both out, so you can ignore the values on the mid-cut at the moment. And I've basically got bass, middle, and treble at noon. Volume to taste, I'm using the Synergy Syn 5050 power amp and my Marshall 4x12 cabinet with 25 watt greenbacks. The mic I'm using today is a Sennheiser MD421. This is what it sounds like on the bridge pickup. I'm just gonna noodle and tweak to where I like it with this guitar to start with. Going for a kind of bluesy low gain thing. And we're starting to get into some proper crunch right there. The pickups in this guitar are incredibly mellow, so we'll hear that gain setting with a Les Paul in a second is even crunchier, but I like what's going on there. You can hear it's fairly straightforward to dial in. This shared EQ means that between the two channels, you're gonna basically have the same starting point, but the real killer app are these mid-cut controls. So I can bring this mid-cut control in and bring it up a little bit. And to me, there's this kind of fun game you can play to really get the texture of your distortion dialed in with your guitar using the mid-range control, and you can kind of sculpt it after the fact with this mid-cut control. So I'm gonna bring the mids, I'm gonna leave them where they are, and we'll play around with the range of this for this particular sound. Pretty interesting there, you know, having the mid cut up and the mids pumped versus both of them down sounds different. So there's a sweet spot to be found between those two controls in there. I'll just quickly give you an idea of how much more gain we have on the red channel, basically with the same settings. You know what, let's click both of those mid-cut controls in because I quite like the overall tone there. And I'll just go from the blue to the red, and you know, the red it gives you more gain. It gives you what you would expect from a red LED on any piece of guitar gear. And then without the mid cut on. Now, just to prove that Strat really is quite mellow, same settings, this time with a Les Paul. So that red channel with the mid-cut switch in there, it's doing what I would expect something bearing the Diezel name to do. That very much has that sound going on. Back on the blue channel, little less gain. This has some pretty nice classic rock style sounds in there as well. And again, you can kind of chase that pumped mid-range, slight mid-scoop on there as well, just for a different flavor. I think I quite like the blue channel with the mid-cut out, and then going over to the red channel, I'll leave it on less gain, but this mid-cut in, and like just a bit of mid-cut in there is a really cool two-channel setup. The other way I've been enjoying this is actually to use the blue channel for the slightly higher gain setting. So this is going to be my rhythm tone, and I've got the mid-cut pumped up on this. When I switch over to the red channel, I've dialed in less gain on the red channel, which relatively kind of gives me a similar amount of gain, but I've gone less crazy with the mid-cut, so it's basically giving me a big mid-boost for leads. Let's hear that. And the same thing works pretty well with this 7-string as well. going to take that last sound and I am going to feed it out through my rack on an aux send. I've got an Eventide H3000, a Lexicon PCM 81, and Eventide Eclipse for delay, and I've got the Clark Technic BBD 320 for chorus. This is silly, silly fun. So that's the Diezel Herbert module from Synergy. The shared EQ together with the mid-cut controls actually gives you quite a bit of versatility, and you could either use the red channel for your insane modern high gain, tight focus chugga chugga sound, or you could use it for a big open lead sound like we heard there with the rack effects. Or you can do the opposite thing that I was talking about, use the blue channel for your rhythm sound and basically just play around with the mid-cut control and set the red channel the same so that you can get a nice big blooming mid boost going on there. There's some great lower gain tones on there, and I think if you're using a Syn 2 like I am, this would be a great module to pair with maybe a more vintage voice module in there. It almost just sits in its own space between the kind of more Marshall voice modules and I guess the more modern American style modules. It has its own thing going on, and personally I've tried the VH4 as well and I like this one a lot more. But I want to know, what did you all think of the tones in this video? Is this a module you would consider adding to your Synergy rig? And I know it's been one of the modules that people have kind of been hanging out for. I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope it kind of lives up to what you wanted out of this particular module. Again, thank you to Stefan and all the Synergy crew for sending this module out to me to demo. It has been a whole lot of fun. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great day.